Now listen up.
KPFX and HD1, Kindred, Fargo, Moorhead.
And KDLB HD3, Breezy, Detroit Lakes.
Love this radio station.
Locally owned and operated by Radio FM Media. We are your Bison Nation station.
And number one for classic rock that really rocks. 107.9, The Fox.
Now, here's today's headlines with the Fox Morning Show.
On 107.9, The Fox.
It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
I have a dream.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Free at last! Free at last!
Selma to Montgomery's got to be 50 miles.
Thank God Almighty! We are free at last!
Thousands of people came to Selma.
Great man.
A great man.
A civil rights. A great leader.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
It's showtime.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's Monday. We're sorry for that. But we'll do the best we can to make it better for you.
Yeah, we'll try. Mother Nature's not helping. We are currently under a wind chill warning till noon, and then after that, an advisory through tomorrow. Dangerous wind chills continue, 20 to 30 below with sub-zero temps for the daytime high, and again for the low later tonight. But by tomorrow, they're saying above the donut, single digits above zero.
Next week looks great.
By this weekend, I think we're going to rally into the teens, and by next week, 20s, maybe 30s.
30s.
Yeah. How about that? So,
that's magic.
Yeah.
Thanks,
there you
Santa.
go. Yeah, that's right. That's your Fox forecast. Currently, we are sitting at -9 at 6:05.
And heads up, the roads are a bit greasy out there, too. Take your time coming in. Yeah, and it was, it can be a challenge. You just be careful out there on your Monday. Here it is, the 15th day of the new year. Here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. Well, good news to report as Feed My Starving Children's Fargo Pack ended 2024's event with 9,712,224 meals packed in the Fargo Dome.
How about that?
Just shy of 10 million.
Yeah, just shy of their goal, but impressive. Largest ever by Feed My Starving Children.
Still shatters the previous record. Yeah, the last shift yesterday alone bagged up 985,176 meals. According to organizers, a new 2-hour shift record.
Dang.
That's a 2-hour shift record. Isn't that crazy?
Way to go, Red River Valley.
Yeah, that's enough to feed 2,700 kids for a year. Just that one 2-hour shift alone. So about 27,000 people volunteered.
Yeah.
All in all. So thanks to everybody that did. Governor Burgum endorses former President Trump in Iowa. Burgum launched his own presidential campaign last June and qualified for the first 2 GOP primary debates. However, after a few months on the trail and failed to qualify for the last debate that he was going for, he decided to suspend his bid for the White House back in December. Here's some random facts for you. At least 12 dogs were aboard the Titanic. I never thought of that.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Three of them survived.
Yeah, why weren't they in the movie?
Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, there was room for dogs on that floating door at the end of it.
Right.
God, that makes me hate Rose even more. And nobody knows what Christopher Columbus actually looks like.
Really?
Yeah, I guess there's a painting of him. He looks like a cabbie from Brooklyn.
He does.
He does. Today's Blue Monday, supposedly the most depressing day of the year. A travel company came up with a formula in 2005 and claimed it's always the third Monday in January. It's not backed by science or anything.
Okay.
What is anymore? According to a sexpert, here's some common mistakes people make right after getting it on.
Oh.
Offering negative feedback. All right, let's talk about that a little bit, gang.
We can improve on that.
All right, you were a little late coming back in on that. Reaching for your phone right away. Mentioning an ex. And jumping right back into real life by talking about chores or work.
Yeah.
It's a mood killer.
Yeah.
You're post-coital. Take some time to cuddle. And finally, Fox News has stopped running ads for MyPillow because the MyPillow guy stopped paying his ad bills.
Oh.
In fact, Fox wants to speak with their lawyer guy. I think. Yeah. That's your news for right now.
All right, coming up this morning, your first chance to win tickets to see BTO live in concert. Make sure you're listening at 7:35 a.m. Plus, Sam's 3 quick picks from the NFL's Super Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah.
Boy, it was a bit wild.
It was.
We've got that along with the T-Wolves taking on a red-hot Clippers team yesterday. So we'll We will check that scoreboard next in sports.
One more knee and business is done. And Detroit, for the first time in 32 years, your Lions have won a playoff game. Have at it.
I don't know what Tariq May, meant by that. Have at it. I wouldn't encourage fans that have not won a playoff game in 30-plus years to have at it.
Right, yeah. You wouldn't say that in Philly.
Yeah, right. But, yeah, the Lions beat the Rams in Detroit last night, and, well, the win was a long time coming. The last time the Lions again won, January 5th of 1992, but it was the 1991 season. Terminator 2 was tops at the box office.
Jeez.
This product called Sun Chips was just put on the shelves of grocery stores. And the Twins had just won the World Series.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, 24-23, the closest game of the Super Wild Card weekend so far. Boy,
I was excited for them.
Yeah.
And it was a heck of a game.
It was. It was easily the best game of the weekend. Everything else was a blowout.
It was boring as... I paid my $5.99 Saturday.
Did you?
Yeah, we'll talk more about it in the roundup, but yeah.
Yeah, we did not, but we sure went out and paid more than that by going out to the bars, but we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, I should have just turned to Yellowstone when I was on Peacock and started watching that.
Earlier yesterday, I didn't see this coming. The Packers pounded the Cowboys 48-32, and it wasn't even that close. The Cowboys actually scored a couple of touchdowns in garbage time.
Yeah, in garbage time. In your own house, too.
Yeah.
Boy, how'd you feel about that? Jerry looked apoplectic up my box.
Oh, my God.
The owner.
He said it was the worst loss that he could ever remember.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know. Dak didn't look himself. And I don't know why. It didn't seem like there was a lot of pressure on him.
No. None of them looked like themselves.
Yeah.
They looked terrible. Yeah, they handed that to the Pack.
It was just an odd game.
Even the commentators, they were talking about it. Boy, they just don't look right. Something's wrong.
I mean, I
guess it's in the script.
Well, yeah, right. I've noticed that the Packers offense has definitely been, turning a page and looking better and better each and every week. And that Jordan Love is looking, like, oh, boy, this kid looks a lot like a couple other guys that were playing quarterback for him. I get that. But I was so surprised that the Cowboys struggled to even score against them when the game really mattered.
Man, this week.
It was. So, Super Wild Card weekend is not over, though. We got two more games starting at 3:30 this afternoon. The Steelers and the Bills, followed by the Eagles and the Bucks, man. That was a nice little treat by moving that Steelers-Bills game to today. Originally supposed to be played yesterday, but because of the weather they're having, they're moving it to today.
They were paying people $20 an hour to go shovel.
I know.
Marge wanted to go. She's like, "Go extra money."
Did you see some of the videos that are on social media? They're horsing around. They're not getting anything done.
They're milking that $20 an hour. Well, I was there 37 hours.
They had these long troughs, what they're going to put the snow into and then let gravity do its course, and it would just... No, guys are riding that.
Yeah. $20 an hour.
$20 an hour. Yeah. Should have known better. You're hiring Bill's Mafia to take care of this place?
Exactly.
What the... Meanwhile, a tough one for the T-Wolves yesterday as they took on the red-hot Clippers. But the Wolves cooled L.A. off by taking them 109-105 to remain the best in the West. The Wolves playing some great basketball. Today, also besides the football games, the Wild will be back in action, and they'll be hosting the Islanders. That's your Fox Sports. That Fox forecast again today with a wind chill warning till noon, followed by an advisory through tomorrow because of sub-zero temps and, again, more dangerous wind chills of 20 to 30 below. By tomorrow afternoon, we should get above that donut. And then by this weekend, teens, and by next week, 20s and maybe even 30s. That full Fox forecast anytime at 1079thefox.com. We've got -9 now at 6:16.
Well, it's the dumbest thing you're going to hear all day. Oh, and by the way, it happened in Wisconsin. All right, well, that's coming up.
Now here's the Fox Morning Show.
107.9 The Fox.
Oh, man. So this happened to a DoorDasher over the weekend.
Uh-oh.
Out there in Wisconsin. I don't know if he was making a delivery to maybe some Packer fans watching the game.
Gross. Why? What happened? Was there like love-making sounds coming out?
Listen to this.
I don't know what to do in this situation. I'm just going to keep going backwards, I suppose.
They were doing it. That's that telltale cow sound.
Oh, this DoorDasher, he had to throw his car in reverse to get away from a herd of cows on the road that wouldn't stop chasing him.
They're all wearing Packer jerseys.
He eventually had to stop when another car came behind him, but luckily the cows went around his car and he made it to his next delivery.
City boy got a little scared giving up to the big scary cows.
Have you ever known a cow to attack anyone?
No.
Me neither.
Maybe a bale of hay.
Yeah. I don't know what he was delivering. Maybe it was hay. Maybe that's why they were after him.
Yeah, maybe it was a straw pizza. Who knows?
But the crisis here has been averted, so good thing.
That'll teach him. Wearing alfalfa shirts.
That's right.
I don't know what to do in this situation. I'm just going to keep going backwards, I suppose.
Mark calling Orson. Come in, Orson.
Now, here's the Fox Morning Show.
With Nerd News.
Nanu.
On 107.9, The Fox.
Oh, it's time for some nerd news here on a Monday.
Oh, I love nerd news.
Yeah. We got a lot of space news, starting with this. We won't be walking on the moon again until at least 2026. It was supposed to happen next year in 2025, but NASA pushed it back because of some safety reasons. They didn't expand on it, but 2026 at the earliest now.
Okay.
And if that isn't bad enough, remember that unmanned moon lander from the Astrobiotics people? It had serious issues just after last Monday's launch. And it won't be landing on the moon. Remember, this is the one that you signed on to that page to put yours and Margie's name on it.
Yeah, the Viper. Mm-hmm. Fly your name to the moon. Yeah, I got my boarding pass. What the hell?
Because of a bunch of random stuff on board, including somebody's ashes. Not sure why, but the thing ran out of fuel. So as of now, it's just out there floating.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We need some space cowboys. Lasso that thing.
And finally, in other space news, Space.com, I guess, explains why some parts of the galaxy smells like urine and eggy farts.
Oh, I can tell you why right now.
Why is that?
Without even looking it up. And I'm not meaning to sound like a know-it-all, but two things, ammonia and methane.
Oh, all right.
I mean, you know the swirly, when you look at Saturn and Jupiter? Those are all, that's ammonia clouds. There's lakes of ammonia, lakes of methane.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
that's out in space.
Yeah, well, certain planets.
Okay.
I think Io has lakes of methane. That's one of the moons of Jupiter. And lakes of methane, that sort of thing. But yeah, I put money down that it's methane and ammonia.
I'll tell you, I remember the old Metrodome. You know what?
That smelled a lot like ammonia and methane.
It smelled a lot like urine and eggy farts. I'll tell you what.
It smelled like Uranus, just like you think it would smell like.
So I thought maybe it was some gases that escaped from Earth into space.
More likely from Uranus. Or as my mom used to say, Uranus.
Uranus?
It's Uranus. Not, Mom, it's Uranus. It says right here.
That's right.
Hey, Ma.
This is the Fox Morning Show.
Now trending. Now, here's what's trending on 107.9 The Fox.
Uh-oh. The police in Nebraska had to take to Twitter, or as they call it now, X.
Right. I still call it Twitter, too.
Apparently, they had to tell a local citizen not to clear the snow by pouring gasoline on it and lighting it on fire.
Are you kidding me? What a moron! Does it work?
A local officer posted this online, quote, "If you live in Old Town Bellevue and are currently pouring gas onto the snow and trying to light it on fire as a form of snow removal, you cannot do that. Our officers are on the way to talk to you now."
Right. That kind of goes right up there with the common sense rule, doesn't it? But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a Nebraska thing. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
You know, it wasn't that long ago. There was that viral video of that guy with a flamethrower
Yeah.
And he was using it on his driveway.
Yeah. Yep. And
That
they
works.
even have those big torch, those brush burners, with a big long thing that you hook up to a propane tank, and you can walk around with that. It's not quite a flamethrower.
Right.
Yeah. But which I almost bought one on K-Bed. You can get them. You can get attachments nowadays, flamethrower attachments for a rifle.
Dude, all the things that you have bought. I can't believe you didn't pull the trigger on that.
It's $600.
It's $600. But it's a flamethrower, Dave.
I know. You spent $500 on makeup for your wife.
I know. That'd be a lesson, kids. Careful when you drink yardstick margaritas in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's the standard there, buddy. And you can use either kerosene or gasoline on it. You don't have to use anything gelled.
I think we all, when we were kids, thought at some point you'd own your own tank, your own submarine, and your own flamethrower.
Back when we were kids, do you remember you could buy the cardboard tanks that you could buy in the back of the comic books? Remember, it was like $8.99. You could get your own. And there was 2 kids in it. Remember, there was also a submarine. I don't know if it was waterproof or not, but times have changed. Technology's caught up.
So again, just a reminder, you can't clear snow by pouring gas and lighting it on fire.
I mean, you can, but it's illegal.
Yeah.
So you can't.
Right.
You can, but you can't. Nice trick.
It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
I have a dream.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Free at last. Free at last.
Selma to Montgomery's got to be 50 miles.
Thank God Almighty. We are free at last.
Thousands of people came to Selma.
Great man.
A great man.
Civil rights. A great leader.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
It's showtime.
Yeah.
Hey, happy Monday.
Yeah. So a lot of you have the day off, lucky.
Right?
Nice.
Yep. Bankers.
Nice. Mm-hmm. No school.
School.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're still feeling it. Winter. That's what that's called. It's winter. And we are under a wind chill warning till noon. After that, a advisory through tomorrow because of dangerous wind chills of 20 to 30 below. We've been feeling it all weekend long. We're going to feel it yet for another day or so. And those actual daytime highs with temps below zero still. But by tomorrow, we should break into the single digits above zero, kind of stay there for the rest of the work week. See some teens by this weekend and maybe 20s and 30s above zero by next week.
How about that? Talk about a light at the end of the tunnel. We sure have had longer cold snaps, so we can get through this.
I think so.
Yep.
That full Fox forecast, of course, anytime at 1079thefox.com. We're sitting at -11 at 7:05.
Welcome to it, your Monday, 15th day of the new year. We're halfway through the month. Here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. Hats off. Feed My Starving Children's Fargo Pack ended 2024's event with just under 10 million meals packed at the Fargo Dome. 9,712,224. That's awesome.
Way to go.
The event shatters the previous record. The last shift on Sunday alone packed 985,176 meals, according to organizers. That's a new 2-hour shift record. That's almost 1 million in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
That's some serious packing.
That is. That's great news. Governor Burgum endorses former President Trump in Iowa. Burgum had launched his own presidential campaign last June, qualified for the first 2 GOP primary debates. However, a few months on the trail, and he failed to qualify for the final debate. He decided to suspend his bid for the White House in December.
Yeah, caucus day in Iowa. And
today,
Yeah, they're battling not only the temps that we're having, but also a lot more snow.
They got hosed with snow, too. So, they said they're going to get it done. Today's Blue Monday, supposedly the most depressing day of the year. Travel company came up with a formula in 2005 and claimed it's always the third Monday in January. I think they're talking about bills.
Sure.
The lack of sunlight, But even though days are getting longer.
And if you're a Cowboys fan, it's usually about now when you lose.
Yeah, you're already out of the playoffs. Yep. As the NFL winds down, so do interviews with Aaron Rodgers, so we don't have to listen to that crap. Saudi Arabia is planning to build a 330-foot underground building on the side of a mountain. They're calling it an upside-down skyscraper.
Weird.
That's kind of weird. Well, it's really hard to blow that over, I suppose. Someone near Oklahoma City has been using a drone to attach adult toys to streetlights in other hard-to-reach spots.
What?
Cops trying to figure out who's doing it. They say they're not amused. That's so bizarre.
That is so weird.
What is that hanging off of there? It's stalactite.
Because you know.
Mineral deposits, you see.
So, like, gangs will usually hang shoes to mark their territory.
Right.
So when you see a pair of Adidas hanging from some, street light.
Now you see a pair of something else, there's a cougar nearby, so be careful.
What's their gang name and, sign?
Travel in groups just for safety.
Damn.
The Emmys air tonight. They call it television's biggest night. The Emmys honor the best performances on TV. George Santos is expected to sweep. So that's nice.
Did he say that?
Yeah, I think he did. Sure. Yeah, that's your news for I know I'll be watching football, but there you go. That's your news for right now.
All right, hey, we still got that chance for you to win tickets to see BTO live in concert at 7:35. You're listening for that. Next hour, Sam's 3 quick picks from the NFL Super Wild Card Weekend, and boy, it was. We'll look at the action from the NFL coming up next in sports.
One more knee and business is done. And Detroit, for the first time in 32 years, your Lions have won a playoff game.
How about that?
Have at it.
Yeah, can't wait to get a hold of old Sarah, the biggest Lions fan
I
we know.
I thought about her too, yeah.
Boy,
old Sarah.
She's probably still partying hard over there in Detroit Rock City after their big win last night, 24-23, the final, the last time they won a playoff game. It's so hard to wrap your head around this. It was January 5th, 1992, but it was the 1991 season. Terminator 2 was tops at the box office. Love that movie.
It's been a while.
Yeah, Sun Chips was just introduced to us. Sun Chips.
Mars just bought some this weekend.
And the Twins had won the World Series. It felt like forever ago that they won that World Series, and that was the last time the Lions won a playoff game. That's crazy.
And you'd think we're talking about a Super Bowl win here, but no, it's just a playoff game. It's just a playoff game.
Unbelievable.
I'm happy for them. I think it's awesome.
Right? Yeah, I mean that's really testing your fandom, right?
They've been kicked around for decades.
Yeah,
decades.
They were the punchline, along with the Browns. It's either the Lions or the Browns have been the punchline to so many football jokes, and they're finally off the schneid. And who knows? They'll be hosting the winner of the Eagles-Bucks game tonight. But yesterday also a big surprise as the Packers went into the Big D there and took down the Cowboys 48-32, and it actually wasn't even that close. There was a couple of garbage touchdowns by the Cowboys.
Feeble attempts to at least soften the blow,
Yeah, I couldn't have been more wrong on that one. I did not see that coming. That was a game that I thought was going to be flipped. I thought the Cowboys would probably crush the Packers, but hats off to them to put together a run here at the end of the season, and they've gotten hot at the right time. Sometimes that's all it takes.
That's just what I get for cheering for the Cowboys and feeling dirty the whole time.
I know, right? All right, our Super Wildcard Weekend isn't over, though. We got 2 more games yet. The Steelers and Bucks at 3:30 this afternoon. Might want to get out of work a little earlier for that one. Just saying. And the Eagles, the Steelers and the Bills. I think I said Bucks. Steelers and Bills. And then, of course, it's the Eagles and Bucks later tonight to wrap it all up. Should be fun. Meanwhile, a big game for our Timberwolves yesterday as they took on the red-hot Clippers. But, there's a reason why our Wolves are the best in the West. They cooled those Clippers off right away. Nice. 109-105, the way of the Wolves. They remain the top team in the West. Way to go, boys. Keep it up. And today, the Wild, who've been slumping, they've been banged up. They're back in action. They'll be on the ice taking on the Islanders. That's your Fox Sports, brought to you by Western State Bank. Western State Bank is your hometown bank in Fargo and West Fargo. That Fox forecast again today. A wind chill warning till noon, followed by an advisory through tomorrow because of more dangerous wind chills, the ones that we've been feeling for the past few days, 20 to 30 below, with sub-zero temps through tonight yet. And then by tomorrow, we should get above that goose egg. And then by this weekend, teens, and maybe by next week, 20s, 30s above zero.
Wow. I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah, that full Fox forecast anytime at 1079thefox.com. We've got minus 11 at 7:14.
Well, get your tiny hat and your whistle out. The weekend roundup's on the way.
Now, here's the Fox Morning Show
with a weekend roundup. Giddy up, y'all. Kriya!
On 107.9, The Fox.
Are we getting rounded?
Yeah. Get a rope.
Oh, man, it was a cold weekend.
Yeah, we didn't do anything outside, I'll tell you what.
Well, you couldn't, right?
You couldn't.
I mean, if you did, you had to limit it to just a couple minutes.
Yeah, right. And that was the amount of open the door, let the dogs out, and then open the door, let the dogs back in.
Right.
And I even set an alarm at Alexa. I was like, Alexa, 5 minutes. And then it was in 3 minutes they were back at the door. These are big Arctic dogs, you know.
Boomer did the I'm cold dance, lifting the paw one at a time, only putting 3 on the ground.
I know I wouldn't want to go out there and do my business.
Oh, my God, right?
Nope.
So, any highlights while you were inside?
We got a few things done, and we thought about getting a few other things done, but we didn't.
Too much football.
Well, we made a big pot of chili and some jalapeno cornbread.
Nice.
And yeah, we just kind of, Marge did a couple of puzzles. And
okay.
Yeah, I hit the Xbox One, and we just kind of enjoyed the time together. Yeah, it was nice.
A few of us decided to brave the elements and go out Saturday night. That was the original plan, to watch the football game, because none of us wanted to cough up the $5.99 to watch it on Peacock.
Oh, I did that Saturday. Yeah.
And my neighbor calls me at about 2 in the afternoon. Dude, I'm bored, and my wife is binge watching some stupid show. Let's go now and start watching football.
Yeah. Okay.
So we went out and watched both games out and about. Yeah, it would have been a lot cheaper if we would have stayed home and just paid the $5.99.
I imagine it would. Plus, you could use up leftovers and stuff. You know? You got the guys over, because you're still batching it, right?
I was up until yesterday.
Up until last night.
Yeah. So that would have been technically the highlight of my weekend. My wife coming home from Arizona.
Well, there you go. Good recovery. Good answer.
What was your highlight from this cold weekend? Leave that comment now on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com.
You're listening to the Fox Morning Show.
Coming up next, Dave's Deep Thought.
107.9 The Fox. And now it's time for Dave's Deep Thought with your radio pal, Dave Jacobs.
On 107.9 The Fox.
Never, ever ask a woman if she's pregnant unless you see an actual baby being born. Even then, act surprised.
Dave's Deep Thought.
107.9 The Fox. Now, here's the Fox Morning Show.
With a weekend roundup. Giddy up, y'all. Kriya!
On 107.9 The Fox.
All right, so what was your highlight from this cold weekend? We've got a lot of comments on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com, and we've got a lot of people that made the best of this cold weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Stayed inside and reveled watching the Cowboys get slaughtered. It was a blowout, 3 of the 4 games.
They sure were. Ann said setting up her new garage on the inside. It has heat.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Good thinking.
She didn't say anything about Ernie, so I don't know what's going on there. That's her old man. But
Tony went to her daughter's for the weekend out of town for some amazing quality time. There's always good stuff like that.
Old man Holmes spent the whole weekend in the fish house. Boy, I'm sure you had a heater in there with you.
Way to go, Bill.
Yeah, I hope you got a nap in.
Jerry just stayed in comfy pajamas all weekend.
Had a soup party, said Stacy Shank.
Nice.
Had all the friends over, warming up with some soup, some mulled wine.
Oh.
You know what that turns into.
Mm-hmm. Diane got to celebrate her granddaughter's 6th birthday.
One person used their electric blanket. One person sat in a nice warm shop making breakfast sausage, links, and sticks. Went through about 250 pounds, Scott said.
Woo!
Man.
Rachel got to spend time with her youngest grandson at his 5th birthday party.
A lot of birthday parties this weekend. Yeah.
Fran did some cooking. She made her honey corn meal muffins.
Ooh, I bet that's good. Yeah, a lot like a cornbread, I'm sure. Good. Yeah, man. Squatch was on call, he said. Put in a 12-hour day yesterday. I hope you're close to a heater at least.
Christy did some snowmobile racing. Yikes. That had to been damn cold.
Man, I hope it was on Xbox. That sounds cold.
Karen saw Anthony Shore at the barn in Dunvilla doing an Elvis impersonator show. She said it was fabulous.
As cold as it was, I'm sure he was shaking a lot. Yeah, Dean Dirk also saw Elvis in Dunvilla. And then Tracy Liebes says, I got plowed. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure which way to take that, Tracy, but either way, congratulations.
That can go either way.
The Chiefs advancing into playoffs. Go, Pack, go. I'm sure a lot of Packer fans just loved watching the non-compliant, anything Cowboys yesterday. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a lot of people were cooking, and that's what we did a lot. We cooked a lot. You know, kept the kitchen warm, and I don't know what it is about cold weather. You just, you know, you want to make food, and that's what Dan did. He said he had Thai street food in the mall, then he baked an apple pie. I don't know if he was still in the mall. He just pulled the homemade beef pot pie out of the oven, chopped a roast into cubes, and marinating that for beef stew tomorrow, which would be tonight, I think. So we'll be over about 7.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good weekend to perfect your chili or anything else that you like making.
That's what I made, chili, and it was a good hot chili, too.
Yeah. And again, a lot of comments in regards to the Packers kicking the Cowboys to the curb. So leave your comment on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com and let us know what your highlight was from this cold weekend.
Other than the Cowboys losing and that sort of thing. But yeah, day 3 of football is today. I'm going to finish up that chili tonight.
There you go.
This is the Fox Morning Show.
Now trending. Now, here's what's trending on 107.9 The Fox.
Uh-oh. The police in Nebraska had to take to Twitter, or as they call it now, X.
Right. I still call it Twitter, too.
Apparently, they had to tell a local citizen not to clear the snow by pouring gasoline on it and lighting it on fire.
Are you kidding me? What a moron! Does it work?
A local officer posted this online, quote, if you live in Old Town Bellevue and are currently pouring gas onto the snow and trying to light it on fire as a form of snow removal, you cannot do that. Our officers are on the way to talk to you now.
Right. That kind of goes right up there with the common sense rule, doesn't it? But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a Nebraska thing. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
You know, it wasn't that long ago. There was that viral video of that guy with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
And he was using it on his driveway.
Yeah. Yep. And they even have those big torch, those brush burners, you know, with a big long thing that you hook up to a propane tank. And you can walk around with that. It's not quite a flamethrower.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, but which I almost bought one on K-Bid. You can get them. You can get attachments nowadays, flamethrower attachments for a rifle.
Dude, all the things that you have bought. I can't believe you didn't pull the trigger on that.
It's $600.
It's $600. But it's a flamethrower, Dave.
I know. You spent $500 on makeup for your wife.
I know. That'd be a lesson, kids. Careful when you drink yardstick margaritas in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's the standard there, buddy. And you can use either kerosene or gasoline on it. You don't have to use anything gelled.
You know, I think we all, when we were kids, thought at some point you'd own your own tank, your own submarine, and your own flamethrower.
Back when we were kids, do you remember you could buy the cardboard tanks that you could buy in the back of the comic books? Remember, it was like $8.99. You could get your own. And there was 2 kids in it. Remember, there was also a submarine. You know, I don't know if it was waterproof or not, but you know, times have changed. Technology's caught up.
So again, just a reminder: you can't clear snow by pouring gas and lighting it on fire.
I mean, you can, but it's illegal.
Yeah.
So you can't.
Right.
You can, but you can't. Nice trick.
It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
I have a dream.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Free at last! Free at last!
Selma to Montgomery's got to be 50 miles.
Thank God Almighty! We are free at last!
Thousands of people came to Selma.
A great man.
A great man.
Civil rights. A great leader.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
It's showtime.
Yeah.
His memorial in Washington, D.C., I got to see it for the first time when I was on that honor flight trip with the other vets and stuff. And just wicked cool.
Yeah.
Really. I bet it's, I don't know, 20 feet tall. And it's carved out of living rock, so it looks like he's walking out of the rock. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Very cool.
That is cool.
By the Potomac, yeah.
Very cool. Well, welcome to it, MLK Day, and it's still cold at Fox Forecast with a wind chill warning till noon today. That'll give away to an advisory for the rest of today and into tomorrow because of dangerous wind chills of 20 to 30 below and sub-zero temps. By tomorrow afternoon, we should get above the donut for the actual high. Those wind chill factors, of course, will still remain low. But by this weekend, actual highs in the teens, and by next week, man, they're saying 20s, maybe 30s. How about that? That full Fox forecast anytime at 1079thefox.com. We've got minus 11 at 8:04.
Man, if it doesn't hurt my face when I can walk outside, that's a win.
Right.
Welcome to it. 15th day of our new year. Here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. Happy Monday. And good news to report as Feed My Starving Children's Fargo Pack ended this year's event with just under 10 million, 9,712,224 meals packed at the Dome.
Give yourself a hand, Red River Valley.
Man, that's just awesome. Just under 10 million. That was the target, but the event still shatters the previous record. The last shift yesterday alone, just the last 2-hour shift, bagged 985,176 meals.
Man, almost a million in itself.
Almost a million. That's a new 2-hour shift record. That's enough to feed almost 2,700 kids for a year, just that last 2 hours.
Way to go.
Pretty darn awesome. Governor Burgum endorses former President Trump in Iowa. Burgum launched his own presidential campaign last June and qualified for the first 2 GOP primary debates. Failed to qualify for the last one. That's when he dropped out for the White House bid in this past December.
Yeah. Caucus Day in Iowa. What a weird word, caucus.
Very weird, isn't it? Yeah, real easy to mock, make dirty jokes about.
Yeah, caucus.
Yeesh. A woman who used Ozempic had a pretty rough side effect. I hadn't heard about this. She got stomach paralysis, which will give her diarrhea the rest of her life.
Really?
Yeah, that's terrible, man. Jeez. A church in Edwardsville, Illinois is being fined $750 a day for offering a warming center for the homeless.
I heard something about this.
Yeah, because they don't have a permit. Well, they make a permit.
Yeah.
City says it's a zoning violation, and the church is refuting that claim. You go, man.
Yeah, you're trying to do something good, and they're going to get you on a technicality.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
What the?
Top Gun 3's in the works.
Oh,
that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Did you see the Top Gun Maverick?
Did.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
That was a great movie.
Well, this Tom Cruise, he'll be flying in the window seat of a 737 Max. So, yeah.
So the plug's going to come on.
The plug's going to come out, and he'll follow it out. And he'll land on the beach where they'll play some pickleball this time. It'll be fun. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, did you hear about this? They're talking marriage.
That's what I heard, too.
Yeah, little's known about the ceremony, except Andy Reid already called serving coffee and cake. So, wants to be next to the cake.
And some nuggies.
You know there's going to be nuggies in the cake. And California may ban youth tackle football for kids under 12.
Oh.
Speaking of football players not being able to tackle, did you see the Browns defense on Saturday? Mackerel, Asian news for right now.
All right, we still got Sam's 3 quick picks from the NFL Super Wildcard Weekend coming up here shortly. But speaking of, we'll go through those scores from the weekend and give you the schedule for today in sports next.
One more knee and business is done. And Detroit, for the first time in 32 years, your Lions have won a playoff game.
Wow.
Have at it.
Have at it.
There are a lot of people
down.
that have never seen the Lions win. Seriously, a lot of people have never seen the Lions win a playoff game until now.
If you were born in 1992 or after, I mean, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, so 24-23, easily the best game of the weekend, too, as the other 3 were blowouts. But yeah, January 5th, 1992 was the last time the Lions won a playoff game. Barry Sanders was on the team. That's when they last
there
won.
You go.
Barry Sanders.
The last glimpse of greatness right there.
So it was the 91 season. Terminator 2 was tops at the box office. Sun Chips were just put on the shelves at grocery stores for the first time. Sun Chips. Been eating those forever. And our Twins were the world champs. How about that? That's how long ago that was. Yeah, that's crazy. So is this. The Packers going into Big D and crushing the Cowboys 48-32. I did not see that coming.
Nobody did. That was ridiculous.
I mean, hats off to Jordan Love and that offense to really take it to the Cowboys. But then the Packers defense also stepped up, had a pick six, and the Cowboys scored a couple of touchdowns late to make it as close as it was, but it really never was. The Pack just ran away with it. So they'll go on to San Francisco, where the last 3 trips to the playoffs have ended against the 49ers. So I don't know if that's actually a win for them or not. Maybe they'll get over the hump. I don't know.
Yeah.
Been crazier things that have happened in the NFL. But the Super Wildcard weekend is not over. No, we've got 2 more games yet today. Thanks to the Steelers and Bills game being moved to today. Kickoff at 3:30. And then right into the Eagles and Bucks game later tonight. So nice. Big one for the T-Wolves yesterday. They took on a red-hot Clippers team, but the Wolves showed them they're still the best in the West, taking down the Clippers 109-105. Way to go. Today, the Wild also in action. They will be hosting the Islanders, but they've been suffering some major injuries and haven't been looking all that great here as of late. But that's your Fox Sports. That cold Fox forecast again with a wind chill warning till noon today. That'll give away to an advisory for the rest of today and into tomorrow because of sub-zero temps and wind chills of 20 to 30 below. But by tomorrow afternoon, we should get above the donut, and we should kind of stay there for the rest of the work week. Teens by this weekend and maybe 20s and 30s by next week. Check it out for yourself, that full Fox forecast at 1079thefox.com. We've got 11 below at 8:12.
Well, we got Sam Needleman, voice of the Bison, coming in. His 3 quick picks from the NFL Super Wildcard Weekend. Let's review. That's coming up.
Now, here's the Fox Morning Show
with Sam's 3 quick picks.
On 107.9, The Fox.
Dave, Moose, good morning.
Hey, you old so-and-so. How are you, pal?
Doing well, gentlemen. How are you guys?
We're doing good. How you liking this cold weather?
Yeah.
I think I have officially been initiated into a North Dakota winter.
Yeah, you're in the club now, pal.
Yeah, we got home, but we were traveling for NDSU basketball yesterday. We get home and trying to start the car, it was like, oh boy, is this going to work or not? But thankfully, we were able to make it happen.
She's been a cold one. What a wild weekend in the NFL, though. That's why they call it the Super Wild Card Weekend. You went 2-1. You got your lock and your upset correct. We'll start there with the lock pick for the weekend. The Chiefs more than covered their 4.5. And speaking of cold, boy, I saw pictures where people were in the stands and their beers were freezing.
Yeah.
And they're foaming over the top.
Andy Reid's mustache. The list was long.
I've never seen anything like it, guys. I mean, it's pretty remarkable that anybody who went to that game, played in that game, was involved in it in some form or fashion. They're never going to forget that. The icicle mustache for Andy Reid, I think that's got to be preserved in the Smithsonian. That was a pretty. that was an American artifact right there. But I mean, big win for the Chiefs, right? I had a feeling Miami did it to themselves when they weren't able to lock up that 2 seed. So great job by the Chiefs.
And then you got your upset, which you got 2 points taking the Texans. They didn't even need those 2 points. That was a thumping.
Oh, it was a thumping. They were ready. And I had a feeling that the Browns' magic with Flacco was going to run out, and everybody was on the Browns, right? I mean, like you said, Moose, Houston, they were a 2-point dog in this game, even at home. But something I saw in that Week 18 game against the Colts, DJ Stroud, he just has that coolness and calmness about him, even for being a rookie. So big-time win by Houston. Happy to get the upset. I'd be curious to see what my record is on the upset picks this year. I feel like we've got a lot of them. So that was good to have it in the postseason. But then I know where you're going here on the bonus.
But here's the thing. I don't think anybody had this on their bingo card, right? You had the Cowboys winning straight up over the Pack, but they didn't show. I mean, the Packers came into Big D and destroyed them.
In their own house. What a Jeez.
Oh my gosh, it was. I think everybody just shocked, right? Cowboys are undefeated at home prior to that game, and I did say, if you pull up the receipts, if you pull up the tape from our chat on Friday, I did say the Packers would make it close. I didn't say that the Cowboys are going to cover. But whenever you kind of go halfway, that's sort of taking a half measure. I regretted it immediately. And when I'm watching the game, I thought, man, I should have known. I thought Love was going to come out and deliver the goods, and he did, man. I mean, the Packers seem to have their quarterback of the future. Such a young team. Obviously not great to hear here in Vikings country, but what was it? The average age of the Packers is like 25 years old, which is pretty cool. So
I was curious, of course, being a Vikings fan, so I looked it up. I'm like, God, I feel like the Vikings are pretty young, too, with the exception of Kirk Cousins and Harrison Smith, but everybody's got a couple veterans on their teams, right? I looked it up. Right. The average age for the Vikings, 25.9. So we're not that much older than the Packers. Just as a Vikings fan, it makes me feel a little better. So, again, on the weekend, 2-1, buddy. We're making money, especially like you already had said, when you get that upset pick correct. That really helps. Overall, 30-21. Let's keep rolling.
Let's keep it rolling. I'm excited. You know, we got good games tonight, Bucks and Eagles, Steelers and Bills. And should be a good divisional round, too. But sign up. We'll keep on building on that number.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll see you when you're back in the house. You take it easy. Voice of the Bison, 1660s, Ham the Airman. You bet.
Yeah,
stay warm out there, pal.
Try and get that car started. Let it run for a while.
Yeah.
Will do, fellas. Thanks for having me.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.